Obviously, tuning's not just for pianos. I love tuned cars. Today, Alex Roy, Jeff Musial, The Road Testament. We're going to talk about tuning, dream engine transplants, a new segment called You Want to Live, the most important car since the Vietnam War, Top Gear, the guy who's about to walk in front of the camera, why we're outside.
So that can happen.
So I can wear my security jacket, and how often I shave my head this week before dreaming about interrupting JF. Today on The Road Testament. That was awesome.
Royal Purple is the performance oil that outperforms. More power and torque, reduced wear, better economy, longer oil life. It's so good that 25 out of 28 of America's top high-performance engine builders relied on it at this year's Engine Masters Challenge. Why? Royal Purple delivers real-world performance. Royal Purple, the performance oil that outperforms.
This week we've got the first teaser image of the Venom GT, the John Hennessy creation, which is a Lotus Elise with a twin turbocharged LS9 motor in the middle of the car. They had to elongate the car by about 2 feet, made it a foot wider to fit this gigantic motor in this small car. Capable of what we hear, rumors at this point, 262 miles an hour, 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds. And
wait, you say it's elongated?
Yeah.
So it's like taking an extends after taking a Viagra. Dude, seeing a rendering image of that is like being like the testing lab at, like, you know, when they invented Viagra. That thing's awesome.
It's very cool. It's very cool. So that leads us to the question of the week of well, what makes the best engine transplant? We've seen plenty of cars. Well, actually, let's go through the list.
Should I interrupt you now?
Good one. So far, we've seen a SLR motor and an SLK in Dubai.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
Next.
Okay.
Of course, it was Dubai. If that car was in Jersey, I'd be like, that was awesome. Next.
We have an E30 with the M5 V10. The E30 is awesome on its own. It doesn't matter what you do to it. Very cool.
Okay.
Now,
anyone out there who thinks their E30 is the best aftermarket ever, please let us know. We're gonna get like 3,000 responses, which tells you how few LFAs they should put in production. Next.
Okay, now this is a strange one. A Lamborghini Gallardo with the V10 changed into a Mustang. So it's a mid-mounted Mustang.
Does it sound like that?
Almost as bad.
Yeah.
So we only have photos of this one, but a Gallardo dressed up like a Mustang. This is a little old, but...
That makes no sense to me. Like, you have a Gallardo, why are you trying to turn it into a Mustang? I don't understand.
I don't know.
I don't get
and
it.
then, as we reported
The Mustang is awesome.
No, well, the Mustang is a beautiful car, but turning a Lamborghini Gallardo into a Mustang makes no sense. Yeah.
And that's why, who are those guys who tune with Ferrari and the warranty's voided?
Novatec.
Now, anyone out there that wants to own a Novatec Ferrari, please let me know on The Road Testament on Facebook. Next.
We reported on this one last week, the Ford Granada with the Koenigsegg, a twin turbocharged Koenigsegg.
The Ford Granada might be the only car that should not be driven untuned ever made. It's the ultimate tunable car because it's sucked in every. What do you do to it?
Koenigsegg, a twin turbocharged Koenigsegg V8, which is already supercharged.
Well,
it's very cool.
What's the,
Ultimate
next,
sleeper.
Next.
Well, that's all I've got listed so far.
The real news of the day is that Volkswagen has now made official the R division.
Yeah, R GmbH, like Quattro GmbH.
Why are we discussing this today? What was the question you asked me this morning? You asked me, had any tuner ever created anything from which a manufacturer had learned a lesson? And you know what the answer to that is?
Well, now I realize it. It's AMG.
AMG.
Yeah. AMG started outside of Mercedes. Mercedes saw their potential and bought them up. This is 20 years ago.
But the problem now that you have is that aftermarket tuners that remain independent have done more creative, brilliant work than any tuning division's ever done with once it was acquired.
Yeah.
Think about this. How many people out there own an AMG car? I'd love to know. How many of these?
Quite a few.
Okay, how many of them are active in the aftermarket tuning community? I mean, and hang out with people who actually tune their cars of other brands, other ways.
More importantly, how many of them actually track their car?
All right, I go to meets. When I go to meet, I've been to Bimmerfest, all these events.
Waterfest, yeah. Oh.
And you see VW owners, Audi owners, BMW owners all hanging out together. All right, different brands all hanging out together. How many Mercedes guys show up? How many Mercedes guys show up?
There are Mercedes tuning fests, but they're nothing compared to Quattro.
That's my point. Aftermarket tuners, because it's organic, because of the back and forth between the fans, between the owners, fans and owners interacting, fans becoming owners, you have a very vibrant community. The Mercedes tuning community, like, I don't know, I mean, in my heart, I just feel like it has to be the most expensive, because they have to go above where AMG goes, right? Manufacturers, I think, should actually leave their cars at the very top end of the OEM models. They don't need to be the ultimate. They shouldn't be the ultimate. Why? Because you leave no space for the community itself to actually do anything to the cars. Volkswagens are cars.
Yeah. So the R division is actually quite a good.
Look at the R32.
Yeah.
Okay. What year did that come out? I bet you that year there was not in any way a lowering of demand or of sales of Volkswagens that got tuned.
No.
It fit in among the community tuner cars, and that's a great thing.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about dream tuner cars that don't yet exist.
That's the question of the day. We want to find out what car you want to see with what engine. We had a few good ones. We were talking before the show.
Want me to interrupt you now?
You just did.
What's your dream tuner car?
All right. I actually have two. I'm going to take sort of one that you had, but I'm going to take the 3.0 TDI inside of an A3.
Okay.
It's not too heavy.
Okay, that's kind of
enough
cool.
power.
That's kind of cool.
400 pounds of torque in an A3.
No, the Audi Q7
The V12.
V12 in an International Harvester Jeep.
Here's one that I know everyone will love.
Shoot.
DeLorean with the 997 twin turbo flat six. The engine in the 911 is in the back.
You're gonna turn it around.
You flip it around. You get rid of what was the rear wheel drive. Have the engine up front, and what was the front wheel drive, put it in the back. It can work. That would be badass, and it's light enough.
I'm sorry this isn't a two-wheeled show, because I would love to see, like a Hayabusa motor put on like a bicycle.
Whoa.
It's never been done, has it?
I don't know.
What about a twin-engine bicycle?
That has been.
In Europe, they put like 50cc motors, like retrofit onto bicycles. Why haven't we seen diesel motorcycle engines? Why are we talking about motorcycles and bicycles? Okay, if you're going to go all the way, then why aren't there motorized unicycles? If anyone out there has built a motorized unicycle, I will pay you to let me ride it. And don't tell me you already had it, you built it tomorrow, so I get killed on Friday. Seriously, if you have one now,
let's get
PM me, and I will ride. And by the way, I suck on a bicycle. More dream tuner cars.
I'm trying to think of some.
Okay.
The ultimate one is
a twin-engined E30.
Yeah.
With motor engines front and back. Two guys put Suzuki motorcycle engines in a sedan years ago. We haven't heard from them since. They're probably dead, and that's why. If anyone out there personally knows the guys who put the two Suzuki motorcycle engines in that car, if they're still alive, I want to know about it. Road Test on Facebook.
Ford Transit Connect, ZR1 motor, mid-mounted. That's so outrageous. It is the ultimate sleeper.
It is the ultimate sleeper.
That'd be very cool.
Actually, that's a dangerous thing to suggest, because the FBI would be very upset if that was ever done. It's the ultimate escape vehicle. The ultimate bank
heist vehicle.
Guys, I want to know, ultimate bank heist getaway cars. What is it?
That. Ford Transit Connect with ZR1 motor, mounted in the middle of the car.
Well,
use the front hood to stack everything, because there's no engine up front.
I'm thinking the guys in Gumball 04 or 05 had it right. VW Vanagon with a Carrera GT motor.
Anyway, guys, we want to know what you think. Leave your comments below.
But what about like the Dutch thing, the Carver, with the two Hayabusa?
Oh, the leaning one?
Yeah.
That'd be very cool.
Wait, well, what about a Prius driven by anyone over 60? That's the ultimate getaway car. On next week's Road Testament, we're going back to some more serious topics, including the Vietnam War, how often a week I shave my head, and why I'm going to interrupt Jay off even more.
Good enough. Guys, tomorrow we've got Leo Parente on Shakedown.
Discussing that really boring F1 race that happened. Who was in it?
Pretty much.
We're out of time.
Yeah, I don't know. Schumacher? Some guy named Schumacher.
Goodbye.
Schumacher?
Boomacher?